Morning, folks. This morning's soap comes from Soap Commander. Name of this particular scent is Unity. It's got apple, figs, and cranberry. Thought it might be a pretty good one this time of year. This 6 ounces of soap. As you can tell, it's a pretty good sized container, so if you want to whip up your lather, load up your brush in the container, you can pretty much do so. It is definitely a firm soap inside the container here also. But you can tell this is definitely a good sized container. I'll put a link for the website down below. Got the alum block, no rubber band. Still going to be sporting the Black Ice Witch Hazel that's mentholated. And going to be following up the shave with the aftershave balm. Off camera, we'll be using the Shaven Sailor beard oil. Excuse me. And I got it whipped up here in the bowl, smooth bottom bowl. This brush here's got a synthetic knot. This came by the way of Mac Metalworks, by the way, and whipped up on the, I guess you might say, the west side yogurt, creamy. Smells great. Cranberry, the fig. This is a nice scent. I like this one here. Already put a hot towel to face this morning. Cube is definitely getting smaller. Yeah, it's closer to being a sliver compared to what it used to be, a cube. But I've definitely got my money's worth out of it, that's for sure. Shaver I'm going to be using today is a bit different in the way of handle style. Now as it goes for the head's going to look pretty close to the same as what you're used to seeing when you get up to about these years. And I'll put some more information down below, as well as a link for information about Schick injectors. And this particular website has some photos to help you identify your shaver and what year it may fall within. And it's this one here is a pretty good shape, almost like new. It is. I got really lucky when I got this one. And the cases that these come in, I think when we start to get up to these years, you'll find some plastic cases. Usually the base of the case will be one color and a clear plastic lid. And then after that, I think you're starting to look more like the blister packs. In other words, they're not much in the way of cases. And I've got a Personna blade in it. And here it is. It's got a much longer handle than what we're used to seeing when it comes to Schick injectors. This one here is gold as opposed to chrome or silver. It is in really good shape. And you may see a model similar to this that also has a black handle, and I'll get closer into that in a tomorrow shave. But in other words, there's the Golden 500, and then there's the Schick Golden 500, and then there's a Schick 500, and there is a difference in between the two, and it's basically color. But believe it or not, I have had better luck finding the Golden 500 instead of just the Schick 500. I've not had a whole lot of luck finding the Schick 500. The best of my memory, I only remember seeing one photo, whether it's eBay or anywhere else as far as that goes, of the Schick 500. So I don't know if they just didn't make very many of them, or they just didn't sell well, which you could understand. I mean, when you look at this one here, even though this is not the Golden 500, but you can understand that gold sure does look nice. That gold color, it's a good looking shaver. And then if you compare it to the silver, I can understand why more folks probably bought the gold one. Or like I say, it could just been a production type thing. where they just didn't make very many of the 500. We'll go ahead and get started here. And as it goes for what kind of shave feel will you get? Are they aggressive? This is falls in line with the G's. In other words, they're not real aggressive at all. Mild, I would say. Once you pick up your technique, you'll find they're mild but yet efficient. And also, as it goes, whether or not it's a shaver for you, also depends on your beard type as well as your skin. This handle length is I still find myself, liking those shorter ones. It's not that you can't put your little finger on the end. Helps with the control. I do find myself wanting to do that. It just feels better in the hand. At least for me it does. And it, as it goes for the ribbing goes all the way around on the handle. I should mention that. Especially if you'll be shaving in the shower. A little extra grip in the shower wouldn't hurt. And it really is a smooth shaver. When you start to get up to the 60s, going to the 70s, and going forward, I guess you might say, these are going to be pretty smooth shavers. So it's like, pick your handle, if you will. There is one that's the Easy Rider with the yellow handle. From time to time I'll see a posting of one of those. Kind of sort of like to get one of those just because it's yellow. Not that it's going to shave you different, but it's just the yellow handle is unique. It's kind of like the one that I have that's got the gear shift knob on the end of it. It shaves really nice, but it's got that gear shift knob on it that I thought was pretty unique. I liked it. I like it, but as it goes, I don't have the one with the tennis racket handle, but that handle does look like it ought to be pretty darn easy to hang on to. But that's not, I guess you might say, it's not one that, how can you say, really hits my eye, piques my interest. I find it unique, interesting, but just not one that I have a strong desire to run out and go hunt down and find and make sure I get one of those in the den. Not sure why either. I think maybe it has something to do has more to do with the sport itself. Just not a tennis fan. Never have been. Remember as a kid you'd watch it on TV, thought boring. About as boring as watching ping pong. I like playing ping pong, when you was a kid, learning how to put a spin on the ball and all that sort of thing. It was a lot of fun. But watching somebody play it, not so much. It's kind of like golf. Now, if I want to watch to learn, yes. But if I'm watching just to be watching, nah. It just doesn't interest me. For those that can watch it, good for you. There's of course, then on the other hand, like for instance, my son is not really interested in sports as a whole, nor folks that are out there that are like that and understand. In other words, he didn't have a big interest in football, baseball, basketball, take your pick. I guess you might say the major sports. He has about this much of an interest in soccer. But no. The only thing he comes close to having any interest in a sport has more to do with martial arts. And I'm not so sure that it's just not a fleeting moment, kind of like soccer. He was interested in it for a little while and then it kind of waned. And my kids are attention deficit. They take medication for it, as well as it's called ADHD is the version my kids got. In other words, they also have to take medication so they can go to sleep at night. Otherwise, they're up all hours of the night, not able to sleep, and yeah, then things are really tough the following day if they don't get enough sleep. And no, they didn't get it from me. My wife is attention deficit. She can do pretty good though. Of course, she's older now, so things are a little bit different. Some folks, they kind of grow out of it. Some folks don't. Just depends, you know, on each individual case. In other words, you can't put them all in one basket and think that it's all the same, because it's not quite like that. It varies. It's kind of like your mileage may vary when it comes to shaving with a Schick Injector. In other words, for most folks, I don't know that shaving at that speed right there would work very well for them. You know, it's what works best for you. And some maybe a buffing motion like this might work better on it, especially on the against the green pass. Especially if you got heavy beard growth, yeah, you might want to do a buffing motion. Or if you're striving for that BBS. See if I can't catch that one part right through there. I can kind of tell sometimes on the feedback whether I'm getting it or not, and I think I just got it. Just takes a quick moment. Still haven't figured out for sure how to master Don's technique of shaving. He's got it down pat. If you haven't seen Don's video, Wet the Face thing, you really need to watch one of his videos. Watch how he can do a one-pat shave. Still, for me, mentally, I have a hard time just putting my finger on how to get it done in my head. Every once in a while, I think I get close and I get to a point that I can't figure out where I'm going to go next after that. In other words, I see where I'm going to run into an issue and I'm just not going to be able to do it. Right, I'm going to have to relather. So you might say he puts the test to the slickness test of the soap. He puts it to the test. I've only got a couple of Soap Commander soap, and it's not that I have any dislike for the soap or anything like that, because the performance is just fine. There's nothing wrong with the soap. It's just only got so much room. Only got so much money. Got to draw the line somewhere. It's kind of like, was it Cold River Soapworks or something like that? It's been a while since I looked at the website. I quit looking, in other words, because it was getting to be too tempting. And it's soap that I'd like to try, but I'm afraid that if I try it, I'm really going to like it. I'm going to want a lot of it. I haven't seen anything in the way of a negative review. Everybody's had positive reviews of the soap. Just like Soap Commander, I haven't seen a negative one. Not that anything is related to irritation due to something, in other words, but scent, or you know what I'm talking about. In other words, it's not necessarily performance, it's something else where they had a reaction to the soap or whatever the case might be, something along those lines. Haven't heard anybody had an issue with the soap not performing, in other words. The soap performs fine. And they do offer 6-ounce versions and 3-ounce versions. And it depends on the, if I remember right, if I got this straight in my head, the 3-ounce versions, I guess you might say, are more of the seasonal type stuff. And the 6-ounce versions are the ones that they would carry year round. I think that's how that works. And they also have what they call a take charge. And if you go that route, typically it's a little bit cheaper going that route. You'll get the aftershave balm, the soap, and bar soap. All the scent, same scent and whatnot. Just throwing that out there. It took me a little while, you know, if you're not familiar with it, and if you're not used to seeing their website and understanding what all is going on, that's what that version is. The take charge version is that you get a little bit of a discount, I guess you might say, buying all 3 of them together as opposed to separate. And if you're into buying the bar soap type thing, just something to look into. Like most people today, even though this is Saturday, they're still running their Black Friday sales. They have a pretty decent size clearance selection. I was looking this morning. They've got quite a few items there that you might be interested in, as well as some soap, aftershave balms, whatnot. So, in other words, it might be worthwhile checking out if you're just want to, I guess you might say, dip your toe into the Soap Commander's area of products. I haven't found anything that I have I've had some of their samples, and they have great stuff. What can you say? And the service, customer service, it would be pretty hard to top their customer service. Honestly, they really have some nice customer service. Tell you what, just take a moment once you get to that point and purchase some of their stuff and watch what happens in the way of your customer service. I was really pleased with the customer service after the sale. Don't think, if I remember right, it doesn't take a whole lot, as goes for the aftershave balm. So this is all I have in my hand. I still feel the menthol on my face. Boy, it feels great. When it comes to balms, and I understand some may not like it too much. I may have put too much already. I couldn't remember how much it was. If I remember right, I think it's a little goes a long ways, and I think I've already put too much in my hand. So I might be putting a lot of this on my head, which, not that it doesn't need it. A little does go a long ways, yep. If I remember right, I just put a little bit in my hand last time, and went a long ways. Just a little bit. I do like this scent. Matter of fact, when I got this one, I did do the take charge version of this because I wanted the bar soap also. Thought this bar soap would be great. I need to cut my hair today. I'm going to put the rest of this on top of my head here, because my forehead's getting dry. Especially I get a spot right here between my eyes here. Gets pretty dry. But if you're interested in, I guess you might say, going down the Schick Injector Rabbit Hole. I've got a few more shaves lined up with the Schick Golden 500. I also have a Schick Adjustable lined up also. And I've got a, because I got it sitting right over here, PAA Injectomatic. I've had a few videos with it. It's a nice little shaver. You can use them, find them relatively inexpensive, typically in good shape. Not a whole lot, if any, corrosion on them. Handles are usually in good shape. In other words, it's an awfully good buy if you can find them. When you do find them, in other words, it's a good buy. Once again, here's the shaver again. This is a J1, if I remember correctly. I think this came out in the 60s. I like to say I'll put the information down below. It's a very smooth shaver. I had a great shave today. Day's Saturday for me. There's my alarm times going off. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.